the scalpel sliced through my wrist like butter, the metallic tang of blood filling my nostrils as I watched it pool on the cold tile floor of my Manhattan penthouse bathroom. "This is for you, Freya," Alex's voice echoed in my head, his last text before he vanished with everything, my company, my fortune, my life, framing me for the embezzlement that made my suicide look like justice. But as the world faded to black, a cruel joke twisted in my gut. I hadn't slit my own veins. He'd done it in his mind. The poison in my rescue, meds sealing the deal. Then, nothing. Until the blare of my alarm clock jolted me awake in a body that felt too young, too alive, 5 years back, staring at the same bathroom mirror. But my scars were gone, and so was the noose tightening around my future. I gasped, clutching the sink, my reflection staring back with wide hazel eyes that hadn't yet learned despair. Holy shit. I'd read about near-death experiences. But this, rebirth, it hit like a freight train through Penn Station at rush hour. I was 25 again, CEO of a fledgling fintech startup on the cusp of unicorn status. And Alex, my charming, snake oil salesman fiancé, was still playing the devoted partner at my side. The betrayal replayed in hyperdrive, our engagement party where he spiked my drink with just enough fentanyl-laced champagne to make me sign over shares in a haze. The board meeting where my best friend, Lena, discovered the falsified ledgers pinning millions on me. The trial that crucified me in the press as the greedy millennial bitch who tanked her own empire. And the end, me, alone, popping those tampered antidepressants from a delivery that should have saved me, but instead sent me spiraling into that final, bloody act. No, not suicide. Murder. Clean and corporate. My hands trembled as I splashed water on my face, the cool shock grounding me in this second chance. New York hummed outside my Soho loft window, honking taxis, the distant wail of sirens, like nothing had changed. But everything had. I wouldn't let them rewrite my story again. This time, I'd burn theirs to the ground. Starting now. The first order of business was reconnaissance. I couldn't just storm in guns blazing. Alex was a master manipulator. The kind of Wall Street wolf who quoted Sun Tzu over steak tartare at per se. We'd met at a Columbia alumni mixer 3 years from now. No. Wait.
3 years ago in this timeline.
He was the hotshot lawyer from a rival firm, all dimpled smiles and whispered promises of mergers that went beyond business. Lena, my college roommate turned CFO, had vouched for him, her loyalty as thick as the lattes we shared at Blue Bottle. Blind trust. That's what killed me. I dressed in my power armor, a tailored black pantsuit from Theory, Louboutins that clicked like warning shots on the hardwood. Downstairs, the lobby buzzed with the morning rush, baristas slinging oat milk cortados, influencers snapping avocado toast pics. I grabbed an Uber to the office, a sleek glass tower in Hudson Yards that still felt like my kingdom. Not for long, if history repeated. Freya, you're early, Lena chirped from her desk as I breezed past reception. She was all blonde bob and athleisure chic, the girl next door vibe that hid her ledger-fudging talons. In my old life, she'd been the one to leak those emails, painting me as the fraud while she siphoned funds into offshore accounts with Alex's help. Their affair? The cherry on the shit sundae, I'd walked in on them in the conference room, mid-thrust on the mahogany table, the night before my downfall. Just energized, I lied, forcing a smile that didn't reach my eyes. Big day. Let's sync on the investor pitch. Her nod was eager, but I caught the flicker, that microsecond of calculation. She didn't know yet that I knew.
Good.
Let her think I was still the wide-eyed founder chasing venture capital dreams. The meeting room overlooked the Hudson, sunlight glinting off the water like shattered diamonds. Our team assembled, engineers in hoodies, marketers with fresh MBAs. And Alex, sauntering in late as always, his Brooks Brothers suit hugging that gym-sculpted frame. "Morning, babe," he murmured, planting a kiss on my temple that sent ice down my spine. His cologne, Acqua di Gio, the scent of my grave, lingered like a threat. We dove into slides, projections for our AI-driven trading app, promises of disrupting Robinhood. I nodded along, but my mind raced ahead. In the old timeline, this pitch landed us $50 million from a VC firm led by Harlan Voss, a grizzled ex-Goldman Sachs tiger with a reputation for eating founders alive. Alex had charmed him, then used the influx to cook the books, blaming me when the SEC came knocking. This time, I'd poison the well. "Freya, your vision's killer," Harlan boomed over video link, his face a roadmap of Botox and bourbon. "But risks? Lay 'em out." I leaned forward, channeling the ghost of my broken self. "Transparency's our edge. We've stress-tested for hacks, audited every line. But markets are beasts. Volatility could bite if we don't hedge smart." Alex shot me a proud glance, but I saw the greed behind it. After the call, as the team dispersed, I cornered him by the coffee machine. "We need to talk strategy." Privately, his eyebrow arched, that cocky half-smile. "Lead the way, boss." My office was a minimalist sanctuary. Eames chair, Warhol print on the wall, a decanter of single malt for closing deals. I poured us both glasses, Macallan 18, the good stuff, and watched him sip, savoring the irony. In 5 years, he'd toast my tragic end with the same bottle. "Alex, I love you," I started, the words tasting like ash. "But this company's my baby. If we take Voss's money, we lock in controls. No shortcuts." He chuckled, setting his glass down. "Freya, relax. I've handled bigger fish. Trust me, we'll be unstoppable."
Trust.
The word hung like smoke. I remembered the delivery driver in my final days, a harried guy in a blue jumpsuit, dropping off my psych meds from the corner pharmacy. I'd been popping them like candy, prescribed after the stress of the scandal. He scanned the bottle, then, casual as hell, snapped a photo with his phone before handing it over. "Routine check," he'd muttered, but my paranoia was already blooming. That night, alone, my chest had frozen as I stared at the pills. The truth crashing in, Alex had paid him to tamper, to document this suicide attempt for the narrative. I'd confronted him via text, "You photographed my death warrant," and he'd gaslit me into silence, promising help.
Lies.
All of it.
Now.
Reborn. That memory fueled me. "I do trust you," I said softly, stepping closer. "But let's make it ironclad. Sign this NDA extension. Covers any personal overlaps." I slid the paper across the desk. A forgery I'd whipped up on my laptop en route, clauses that'd tie his hands if he strayed. His eyes narrowed, but he scrawled his name. First blood. That evening, over dinner at Le Bernardin, lobster thermidor and whispers of forever, I played the doting fiancé. But as he droned about his latest case, defending a pharma exec on insider trading, I probed. "Sounds shady." You ever worry about blowback? He shrugged. Forking oysters. Ethics are for suckers. Freya. Winners adapt. There it was, the glimpse of the monster. I smiled, clinking glasses. To adapting. Back home, tangled in silk sheets, his hands roamed like they owned me. I faked the moans, my mind elsewhere, mapping their affairs timeline. It started at the holiday party. 6 months from now. I'd accelerate. Catch them early. Twist the knife. Weeks blurred into a calculated dance. I greenlit Voss's investment, but embedded backdoors in the code, audit trails that'd flag anomalies straight to my private server. Lena noticed the paranoia, joking over yoga at Equinox. Girl, you're wound tight.
Spill.
Just found her jitters. I evaded, downward dogging through the burn. But I watched her text when she stepped out, subtle pings to a flirty emojis. Bait set. The party loomed, our annual bash at the Standard. Highline views and craft cocktails flowing. In the old life. That's where the seed was planted, Alex and Lena. Tipsy in a coat closet, plotting my fall over stolen kisses. This time, I'd be the fly on the wall. I arrived fashionably late in a crimson Versace gown that hugged like sin. Diamonds at my throat from the ring he'd yet to give. The room thrummed. VCs schmoozing. DJs spinning lo-fi house. Alex found me by the bar. His tie loosened. Eyes glassy from the third Negroni. You look edible, he growled, pulling me close. Dance with me, I purred, leading him to the floor. As we swayed, I whispered, Lena's been invaluable. You two seem close. He tensed, then laughed it off. Team player. Why? Just curious. I spun away, leaving him adrift. Later, I slipped into the shadows, nursing a seltzer. There Lena, in emerald silk, laughing at his elbow by the balcony doors. My heart hammered, but not with pain this time. Rage, pure and electric. I waited until they drifted toward the elevators, needing air. Tailing discreetly, I hit the stairwell. Phone recording. Their giggles echoed up. Freya's clueless. Once we merged with Voss. The elevator dinged on the rooftop lounge, private, stars above the glittering skyline. I emerged silently, hiding behind a planter. They tumbled against the railing, lips crashing, hands frantic.
God. I've wanted this, Lena gasped.
Alex's voice. Husky, sho. She's mine to break first. Break me? The words ignited something feral. I stepped out, heels echoing like gunshots. Break me? That's rich. Coming from you, two backstabbing fucks. They froze. A tableau of guilt, his fly half-sipped, her lipstick smeared. Lena's eyes widened in horror. Freya? What the? Save it. I held up my phone. Video rolling. I've got you. Affair. Embezzlement plot. It's all here. And trust me, I've seen the sequel. It ends with my blood on the floor. Alex recovered first, smoothing his hair. You're drunk. This is a misunderstanding. Drunk on truth. Asshole. My voice cracked, but I held steady. Controversial? Hell yes. Exposing them publicly could tank the company. Jobs lost. Dreams shattered. But mercy had killed me once. Sign over your shares. Both of you. Or this goes viral by morning. Lena whimpered. tears streaking mascara. Please. Freya. We're friends. Were. The word tasted like victory. They complied in my office at dawn. Faces ashen over black coffee. Shares transferred. My control absolute. But as they slunk out, Alex's parting shot lingered. You'll regret this. Freya. We built this too. Regret?
No.
This was just intermission. Revenge isn't a sprint. It's a marathon through Manhattan traffic, dodging potholes and moral gray zones. With Alex and Lena neutered, reduced to silent bored ghosts, I pivoted the company hard. Fired the weak links, poached talent from fintech rivals, and launched a whistleblower app that anonymized tips on corporate fraud. Ironic, right? The woman framed for theft now profiting off transparency. The press ate it up. Freya Kane, from startup queen to ethics enforcer. A Forbes cover.
TED Talk invite.
But late nights, scrolling dark web forums on my encrypted laptop, I dug deeper. Their buried secret wasn't just an affair, it was a syndicate. Turns out, Alex's pharma client? A front for Voss's real game, rigging opioid scripts through shell clinics, flooding streets with fentanyl-laced pills. Lena's ledgers? They'd funneled our investment into those ops. My death, collateral in their cover-up, I'd stumbled on a file during a routine audit, marked for deletion. They'd framed me to discredit any leaks. The delivery driver? A low-level fixer, paid to photo the tampered bottle as proof of my instability. My chest had frozen that night, pills spilling like accusations. As I texted Alex the truth, "You photographed my poison." "Why?" His reply, "For us, baby." Clean slate. Then nothing but ghosts.
Now,
armed with rebirth's clarity, I built my arsenal. Hired a PI, ex-FBI named Rocco, all gravel voice and cheap cigars. Dig on Voss, I instructed over pastrami at Katz's. And these two, I slid photos. He grunted, mustard dripping. Dangerous waters.
Dull.
These sharks bite back. Let 'em try. Controversial decision 1. I greenlit a shadow op. Funneled company funds off books. Of course, into anonymous tips to the DEA. Watched from afar as raids hit Voss's clinics. Headlines screaming, "Opioid crackdown rocks Wall Street." My stock soared. But guilt gnawed. Innocence caught in the net, a nurse framed as complicit. Her kids splintered by foster care. Was I any better? Alex noticed the shift. He cornered me post-board meeting. Rain lashing the windows like judgment. What's your angle? Freya? This purity crusade, it's suicide. I met his gaze. Unflinching. Suicide's your specialty. Remember? His face paled. The first crack in his facade. What the hell does that mean? You'll see. I brushed past, leaving him stewing. Lena tried reconciliation next, a tearful lunch at Sant Ambrius. Prosciutto platters untouched. I messed up. But we're family. Forgive. Family. The word twisted like a knife. In college, she'd held my hair during kegger puke fests. Celebrated my first period milestone. Betrayal cut deeper for that. Family doesn't fuck your fiancé on your dime, I said flatly. But hey, karma's circling. Her eyes darted. Calculating. If you leak that video, I won't. Yet.
Lie.
I'd already scrubbed it to a burner drive. Timed release if they twitched. As autumn leaves choked the sidewalks, tension coiled. Anonymous threats arrived. Dead rats on my doorstep. Slash tires on my Audi. Rocco traced them to Voss's goons, tattooed enforcers from Brighton Beach. I upped security. A Glock in my nightstand drawer. Legal? Barely. But sleeping with one eye open beat dying ignorant. The real heat hit during a gala at the Met, black tie. Basquiat walls glowing under chandeliers. I was schmoozing a new investor. Champagne flute in hand. When Alex materialized. Arm candy on his elbow, a leggy redhead. 22 tops. Freya, he drawled. Meet Tiffany.
My
Associate. The dig landed, but I parried. Charming. Does she know about your associates in accounting? Tiffany blinked. Clueless.
score.
But as they wandered off, Voss lumbered up, 60-something. Paunch straining his Tom Ford tux. MS.
Cane.
Heard you're stirring pots. Only the dirty ones, I replied, sipping dryly. He chuckled. A rumble, like thunder. Careful. Some pots boil over. Threat veiled as banter. I excused myself, heart racing, and ducked into a powder room. Mirror check, lipstick perfect, resolve steel. Dialed Rocco, Voss is on the move. Tail him. That night, back in my loft, paranoia peaked. A delivery buzzed, pharmacy bag, my vitamins for stress. The driver, same blue jumpsuit archetype, scanned and photographed the label. Deja vu slammed me, chest freezing like ice in my veins. Why the pick? I demanded, voice sharp. Routine inventory, he mumbled, averting eyes. Bullshit. I snatched the bag, stormed inside, and tore it open. Pills tumbled out, standard issue, but I knew better. In the old life, this was Act 1 of my end.
Now?
I revealed the truth to myself, a note tucked in the bottle. Scrawled, back off or join her.
Frank.
The first time. Fury overrode fear. I called a contact at the NYPD, an old Columbia hookup. Owed a favor. Tampering. Rush analysis. By morning. Results. Trace fentanyl in the batch. Voss's signature. I could have gone public. Painted myself victim. But controversy brewed. Instead, I leaked it anonymously to ProPublica, framing it as insider exposes big pharma plot. No byline. Just enough to ignite the blaze without singeing me. Fallout was biblical. Voss's stock cratered. SEC probes launched. Alex called, voice laced with panic. Freya, if you're behind this, prove it. I hung up, then blocked him. Lena showed next, uninvited, pounding on my door at midnight. Rain-soaked. Mascara rivers. He's losing it. Blaming you. We need to talk. I let her in, pity flickering despite myself. She collapsed on the couch, spilling. It was Voss. He roped us in easy money for the scripts. Alex thought we could skim and run. I didn't know it'd go this far. Lies layered on lies. But her tremble was real. Fear. Not just for the fall. Far? Like killing me? Her head snapped up. Killing? Freya. The pills. It was supposed to scare you into silence.
Not.
Not what? End me? I laughed bitterly. You two scripted my suicide note, she sobbed, reaching for my hand. Controversial choice, too. I could have comforted, de-escalated. Instead, I pulled away. Get out. Testify against Voss. Or the video drops, with audio of your pillow talk confessions. She fled into the storm, a ghost of our past. Winter gripped the city, icicles daggering brownstones. My company thrived, app downloads spiked amid the scandal. Users flocking to the ethical alternative. But isolation crept in. Friends distanced, whispers of ruthless, trailing me at brunches. Dates? Non-starters. Who wants a woman with vengeance in her veins? Rocco delivered gold. Voss's ledger. Digitized sins linking Alex and Lena to ghost accounts. Enough for Rico, he growled over whiskey at McSorley's. Feds'll eat it up. Do it. But as he left, doubt wormed. Was this justice or jihad? The old Freya, naive, hopeful, would have sought therapy, not takedowns. This version? She'd learned the hard way. Mercy is for the living. The dead get even. The holidays loomed, festive lights mocking my shadows. An invite arrived, Alex's family Christmas. Upstate in the Hamptons manse. One last chance, his note read. For us.
Us.
The lie that launched 1,000 heartbreaks. I crumpled it, but curiosity, or masochism, won. I'd go. Not to reconcile. To end it. Snow blanketed the Hamptons like a shroud, muffling the crunch of my tires on the Voss Estate's gravel drive. The house loomed, Georgian revival, twinkling with a million white lights, a facade of warmth hiding the rot within. Alex's parents, old money wasps from Greenwich, had always treated me like the help, polite smiles over pheasant under glass, subtle digs about my self-made roots. This time, I'd weaponize their snobbery. I stepped out in a cashmere wrap over St. Laurent, boots sinking into drifts. The door swung open before I knocked, Mrs. Hargrove. Pearls clutched like rosaries. Freya.
Dear.
Unexpected. Family tradition, I smiled, air kissing her cheek. Inside, the air hummed with Bing Crosby and bourbon, ants in Chanel cooing over eggnog. Alex spotted me from the great room, jaw tightening amid the tree-trimming chaos. He excused himself from a cousin, striding over in cable knit and khakis, the picture of prep school polish. What are you doing here?
Missing you, I lied.
Voice honeyed. And closure. His eyes searched mine, suspicion warring with want. Upstairs.
Now.
We climbed the grand staircase, portraits of Hargrove ancestors glowering down. His old room, twin beds pushed together, lacrosse trophies gathering dust. He shut the door, leaning against it. Talk. I paced, trailing fingers over his desk, same one where he'd penned love letters that turned to poison. I'm done playing, Alex. Voss is crumbling. Your cut?
Gone. But you.
You could flip. Testify. Save yourself. He barked a laugh. And rat out the man who made me? You're delusional. Deluded? Like thinking you loved me? I closed the distance, breath mingling. Controversial move 3. Seduction as strategy. I kissed him, soft at first, then fierce, tasting the betrayal on his tongue.
He groaned,
hands fisting my hair, pulling me to the bed. Clothes shed in a frenzy, bodies colliding like wreckage. It was hate-fueled, raw, nails raking his back, teeth on his shoulder. Mid-thrust, I whispered, "Tell me about the driver." He stilled, buried deep.
What?
The photo. My meds. You paid him to stage it. My voice broke, but I rode the wave.
Pinning his wrists.
Sweat beaded his brow. Freya. It was Voss's call. Insurance. If you talked. I shoved him off. Scrambling up. Sheets pooling like blood. Insurance? My life was your policy payout. He sat.
Defeated.
I didn't want you dead.
Just. Out.
Liar. Tears burned, but I blinked them back. This was intel, not intimacy. Who's next on the list? After me? He hesitated, then spilled names. Dates. A web of clinics from Jersey to the Bronx. Voss's empire. Propped by politicians and perps. I memorized it all. Phone hidden in the folds. Recording. Downstairs. Carols droned on. I rejoined the party, cheeks flushed, excuses of jet lag. Alex trailed, hollow-eyed. Dinner was torture, turkey carved with surgical precision. Toasts to new beginnings. Under the table, his foot nudged mine, plea or provocation. Later, by the fire, his mother cornered me. He's lost without you.
Dear.
Fix it. If only she knew. Some breaks can't mend, I murmured. Midnight mass at the local chapel, candlelight flickering on stained glass. I knelt in the pew. Alex beside me, the hypocrisy choking. Prayers for peace? I'd settled for pieces. Back home, New Year's Eve loomed like a guillotine. The city erupted in confetti and chaos. But I holed up, piecing Rocco's puzzle. The web led higher, a senator's slush fund, tied to Voss. Leaking it all? Armageddon for the elite. Jobs lost, charities folded, ripples to the vulnerable. Controversy incarnate, but silence was complicity. Rocco called at dawn. Voice urgent. Feds are moving. Your tips panned out. But Voss knows it's you. Watch your six. Too late. That afternoon, as I prepped for a CNBC spot, my doorman buzzed, package. No sender. Inside, a pill bottle. Label mocking, Freya's finest, and a photo me. From 5 years hence. Wrist slashed, eyes vacant.
How?
They'd staged it post-mortem. Planted in my files. Chest freezing anew. I hurled it across the room. Revealed truth. This wasn't just revenge. It was war. I called the station. Filed the report. Then, anonymously, forwarded the web to 60 Minutes. The segment aired pre-ball drop, Wall Street's dirty secret, fintech founders fight against opioid overlords. Blurred faces. But Voss's empire ID'd clear. Riots in the streets, protests outside clinics. Families of victims chanting my pseudonym, Shadow Slayer. Alex texted, "You bitch." It's over. My reply, for you? Yes. But dawn brought the twist. Rocco. Frantic. Lena's missing. Left a note. Can't live with it. Guilt crashed. I'd pushed too hard. Raced to her apartment in Chelsea. Door ajar. Inside. Chaos. Overturned lamps. Blood-specked rug. No body. But her phone. Last call to me. And a voicemail. Voice shattering. Freya.
I'm sorry. Voss's men. They came.
Tell my mom I...
Static.
Then gunfire. Muffled screams. My knees buckled. Controversial reckoning. My vengeance had claimed a collateral. Lena, the friend I'd mourned, now maybe martyred. Cops swarmed, questions flying. Enemies, the detective pressed, notepad poised. Plenty. I stonewalled, mind reeling. Buried secret unearthed. She'd been pregnant. With Alex's kid. The affair's fruit. Hidden in her sick days. I doomed them both. Numb. I retreated to the loft. City fireworks mocking through the blinds. Rebirth's gift curdling to curse. Had I become the monster? January thawed into a slushy hell. The city shedding its holiday skin like a hangover. My CNBC glow faded under scrutiny. Paparazzi staking out my building. Headlines twisting hero to vigilante. Freya Kane, savior or saboteur? Screamed the Post. A grainy shot of me dodging flashbulbs. Voss's lawyers sued for defamation. Alex countersued for emotional distress. Lena's disappearance? Front page mystery. Her face plastered on milk cartons digital style. No body, but the blood told tales. Feds classified it persons of interest, but whispers pinned it on me, the jilted lover with a grudge. I doubled down on isolation, burner phones, blind drops for Rocco. He met me in a dingy diner off Flatbush. Steam rising from greasy plates. Voss is cornered. Senate hearings tomorrow. Your leak's the news. And Lena? My voice cracked over coffee black as my soul. He shrugged. Weary. Trails cold. But word is, she cut a deal, testified in secret. Voss's goons grabbed her en route. If she's alive. If. The word haunted. Controversial pivot. I could have fled. Private jet to the Caymans. Startup sold for scraps. Instead, I geared up. Bought a throwaway pistol from a sketchy contact in Red Hook. Practiced at an upstate range until recoil bruised my palms. For protection, I told the mirror.
Lie.
It was for the endgame. The hearings unfolded on C-SPAN, a circus of suits and subpoenas. Voss testified. Silver Fox turned cornered rat. Baseless accusations from a disgruntled ex-employee. Cut to me. Live from a safe house studio. This isn't personal. It's public health. Thousands dead from their greed. Alex watched from the gallery. I learned later. Face a mask of fury. Post-session. He ambushed me outside the Capitol. Courtesy of a leaked itinerary. Rain pelted the steps. Umbrellas blooming like black flowers. You destroyed us, he snarled, gripping my arm. Secret Service peeled him off, but his whisper lingered. Lena's alive. Voss's Hampton's basement. Come alone, or she dies for real. Trap?
Probably.
But the pull was magnetic. I slipped my detail. Uber to a heliport, chopper to Long Island. $5,000 cash drop. The estate loomed darker sans lights. Snow melting into mud. Back gate ajar. I slipped in, Glock heavy in my coat. Basement access via the wine cellar, chateau bottles smashed. Shards crunching underfoot. Stairs creaked down to concrete hell. Exposed pipes. Flickering fluorescence. There Lena, zip-tied to a chair. Bruised but breathing. Freya, she rasped. Hope flickering. Sho. I knelt, slicing bonds with a shard. But footsteps echoed, Voss. Flanked by two thugs. Alex trailing like a whipped dog. Touching, Voss drawled. Beretta casual in his paw. The prodigal bitch returns. Alex avoided my eyes. It was the only way. End this quietly. Quietly. Like my first death. Rage boiled. You too, always scripting my exit. Lena staggered up, clutching me. They killed the baby. Freya. To shut me up. The world tilted. Her hand on her belly, subtle swell I'd missed. My vengeance. The abortion of innocence. Controversial climax, no speeches. I lunged. Glock barking, thug one down.
Me shattered.
Chaos erupted. Voss firing wild. Ricochets pinging.
I tackled Alex.
Pinning him as Lena grabbed the dropped Beretta. For us, she echoed his old line, emptying into Voss. He crumpled, gurgling red. The second thug bolted, but I winged him, non-lethal. Mercy's last gasp. Sirens wailed distant, neighbors roused. Alex writhed beneath me, pleading. Freya.
Please.
We can spin this self-defense.
Spin.
The word snapped something. No more spins. I pressed the barrel to his temple, finger whitening. His eyes, once love, now terror, mirrored my old end. Pull? End the cycle? Lena's sob, don't. You're better. Better. The ghost Freya whispered it too. I eased off, cuffing him with zip ties from the goon's kit. Feds'll decide. Cops swarmed. Chopper evac for Lena, hospital bound. Fractures and grief.
Me?
Interrogations in a fluorescent box. Lawyer on speed dial. It was Voss, I stated, calm as a boardroom. He kidnapped her. We fought back. Evidence backed it, ballistics. Lena's testimony. Alex cracked under sodium pentothal dreams, spilling the syndicate like confetti. Voss died en route, internal bleed. Poetic. The web unraveled. Indictments. Resignations. A senator in cuffs. But victory tasted like ash. Lena recovered. But distant therapy sessions. A move to Seattle with her mom. I can't stay, she texted. Too many ghosts. The baby, our shared sin, hung unspoken. Spring bloomed. Company rebranded. Kane Ethics Fund. Pouring profits into addiction recovery. I dated tentatively, a barista with tattoos and trust issues, but nightmares lingered. The photo. The pills. The blood. Twist came in summer. A manila envelope at my desk. Inside, a ultrasound print. Dated pre-disappearance. Note in Lena's script. Not his. Yours if you'd wanted. But I couldn't trap you in hate. Mine? The math hit. That night in his room. Christmas. No protection. Passion's oversight. She'd known. Protected me from the news that would have chained us. Mercy. Twisted. Tears came. Hot and healing. Rebirth's final lesson. Revenge rebuilds. But forgiveness forges. By fall, the dust settled into a new normal, scar tissue over old wounds. The trials wrapped. Alex. 15 to life in Otisville. White-collar purgatory, with therapy mandates. He wrote once. Contrite scrawl. I loved you. In my way. Forgive. I burned it. Ashes to the wind off my balcony. Forgiveness? Earned. Not owed. Lena? We met once. Neutral ground in Portland Craft Brewery. IPAs sweating on oak tables. She looked softer. Yoga-toned and mom hairstyled. A ring glinting from a barista bow. You kept it? I asked. Voice small. She nodded. Hand on the swell.
Ours.
Clean start. Envy flickered, her peace. My penance. but I hugged her tight, whispering, Auntie Freya's got college funds covered. Laughter broke the ice. Tentative bridge over the abyss. The company? Unicorn achieved. IPO whispers. I stepped back. CEO title to a protege. Content with board seat and quiet power. TED Talk went viral, from betrayal to breakthrough. Owning your second act. Standing ovations. DMs from survivors. You gave me voice. Purpose. Finally. But shadows lingered. The delivery driver? Tracked him down, Joey. Ex-con with a rap sheet and regrets. Voss paid peanuts. He confessed over burgers in Queens. Didn't know it'd kill. I didn't press charges, statute lapsed, but hooked him with job leads. Redemption's chain reaction. One crisp October eve, walking the High Line, leaves rustling gold. I felt it, the hook's echo, that first gasp of rebirth. No more freezing chests, just steady breath. New York pulsed around me, street vendors hawking pretzels. Couples tangled on benches. Skyline piercing the dusk like promises. A text buzzed, Rocco. Syndicate's dust.
Good work.
Kid.
Kid.
At 30, wait. 28 this loop, I smiled. Reborn. Not unbroken. The controversial calls? Framing leaks. Armed standoffs. The seduction sting, they'd scarred, but sculpted. No saint, this Freya. Just survivor. Scars and all. I paused at the railing. Hudson glittering below. To the ghost me, thanks for the warning. To the betrayers, rot in hell. To the future, bring it. The end? Not tragic. Not fairy tale. American as apple pie a la mode. Messy.
Bold.
A little too sweet. And mine.